Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this test kitchen. First, some obligatory background. My name is Rik Page and I work for Bluestream. I'm based in London in the UK and primarily look after the EMEA region, but I do get involved with North America from time to time. I've been involved with structured content and DITA for a long time and have consulted on, designed and sold solutions all over the world. For those of you that haven't come across Bluestream in the past, they've also been involved with XML and structure and DITA for a long time. At Bluestream, we like open standards and we like to build software that our customers can customize to meet their exact requirements. We also have domain expertise in key areas, including policies and procedures, learning and training, healthcare, and in particular manufacturing. So with our machine industry module, you can import parts information directly from your ERP, your CAD system, hotspot diagrams, and build illustrated parts catalogues from within the CCMS. Just a few other example customers. I think we've probably covered every industry, every continent, and every size of business, from 1 or 2 authors up to teams of 100 plus authors distributed all over the world. But what is metadata and why should we care? Well, metadata is data that describes content. It's data about data. And with metadata, this helps us identify DITA topics, and it can improve the search greatly of when you're looking for content, and I'll show you that shortly. And it can also be used to enhance and improve delivery. But before we get on to metadata, let's look at taxonomies, ontologies, folksonomies, and the difference between them, because we need to understand this first. I'm sure everybody has come across the word taxonomy. It's actually derived from Greek, from taxis and nomos, the arrangement and ordering of things, and the usage of things. And as a definition, it requires quite a few words, as you can see here. But a taxonomy can also be thought of as a knowledge map, as we're showing here. A good taxonomy is vital if you want to maximize the return of your investment in DITA. And these are some definitions for you of what makes a good taxonomy. A taxonomy starts with a term and gets more specialized, and in this way anything can be classified as long as there's a logical hierarchy. As you can see here with my example, from a living creature we can go to mammals, dogs, the breed of dog, the sex of the dog, the age of the dog. So anything can go through this so long as there is this logical hierarchy. And then we move on to ontologies, and this is a difference here. An ontology is the study of things and their relations, what exists or can exist, and what relationships can things have to each other. So the studies of categories of things. It's the exact description and all their relationships, and a formal specification of a shared conceptualization. So if we look at this visually, here we have an example, XML based language on the left. Now this recording is obviously available to view multiple times. If anybody contacts me, I'm happy to share these slides with them as well, and go through this again in more detail than we actually have at the moment, just running through this. And ontologies are modular, so you can have an higher level describing things from a high level, and then we can drill down, as we're showing here, into a domain or into an application ontology, down to just a task ontology, just creating a single record in XML. We can still have this whole thing, what the options that can exist and what are the relationships between those. So here we have a quote by Clay Shirky from Semantic Web. Ontology is less concerned about what is than what is possible. And as you can see here, ontologies are considered one of the pillars of the semantic web, this whole idea that we can link more things together, we can share data better online. And this idea that ontologies should all be related to other ontologies as we go forward. And talking about ontologies lead us on to OWL, which is a W3C initiative built on the resource development framework and originally designed as a metadata model. OWL provides a way of delivering better content by offering greater control. And then lastly, we can move on to folksonomies. Now, folksonomies are where users add the metadata tags that make sense to them and they're shared with everybody. So rather than coming from a predefined list, you can actually create your own tags that make sense to you, and then when people are searching for data they may use your tag and that will actually find the content. There's some advantages here. It's less work for the authors. Once some content is out in the web, they don't need to worry about it. It's just off and go. That has its positives and negatives, I suppose, as well. But it's widely used. So a couple of sites that are using folksonomies, things like Flickr and WordPress, and obviously social media, Twitter and Facebook are both using folksonomies. So with that background, we can start moving on to what Bluestream and XDocs offer regarding metadata. So we have an advanced metadata module which gives you complete control over all your use of metadata. We support XPath 2 for searching. I will show you what we mean by metadata harvesting and how that works. We have full support for OWL as well within the system, so you can import your ontologies that you've been created, but you can also export and share those ontologies elsewhere. But let's look at this in the real world. So this is CM Admin. It's the web-based administration area for XDocs. It's where you set everything up for projects. So it's here that we can add workflows and define our workflows, where we can set up a branch and merge, which is particularly strong within XDocs, with DITA XML used to ID changes across branches and trunks and highlight the differences, which is a completely different demonstration. We have our localization control here, including automatic FTP, which will pick up when files are ready to be translated and automatically send them to and from your language service providers. It's here that we manage projects. We also manage users who in turn have roles, and roles have permissions obviously, and everything else, the security. But we're interested today within the extended metadata tab. So if we go to the beginning here, so you see there's lots of options, there's lots of tabs here which all do different things obviously, but you can see here under ontology we have the ability to import our OWL files, and we also have the ability to export the OWL files, either just the schema or the schema and the data as well, all very easy, click of a button actually, and that will automatically, you'll see this down the bottom here, and that's created, ready to go. Designed to be understood by computers more than humans, and not very pretty to look at, so I shan't show you that today, but it does show how quickly this is to create these, and import is obviously just as quick. because we're just dealing with XML files within a system designed for XML. We can look at the property configuration here. Look at the individual properties. So under audience, we've just got technician at the moment. If we go to concept, obviously there's lots more types of metadata associated with this, but it's very simple for us to add metadata with this system. So we're going to add some new, I think I'll add some new types of users and then show you that that's available straight away within the authoring interface. So it puts our number down there, just give that a definition. And we'll call the first one end user. So we've now got end user, and we'll have support as well. So if we do that, so value and support. So we've now got two additional pieces of metadata that we can apply when we're authoring, and it's as easy as that to add new content. The other thing that XDocs will do is when you check a document or a topic into the system, it will automatically go through and pull out all of the metadata that's in that document, within that topic rather, and actually store that so you can reuse it later. So we're going to switch from here, we're going to leave the CM admin behind, and we're going to move in to looking at the desktop version today. We could do this with the online version, but for today I'm going into XDocs Explorer, and I'll probably have to log in because this is a demo system and I've not been in it for a while. So here we are in the desktop application. We're using some Oxygen sample data. I think a lot of people will be familiar with this. Just navigated down to topics, and we'll look at battery draining. So we'll launch an editor. We'll open up, and we get the option to either view or edit the topic. So we'll edit those messages, and you'll see here we're now with Oxygen full tabs, which I personally prefer not to see, but that's a user preference. What you will see here within Oxygen is we actually have a menu tab just for XDocs for checking in and checking out content. So you can actually drive XDocs from within Oxygen. So you can open Oxygen first and then go to XDocs in order to get your content, or go the way round that I did. So we're here, and we can get on and we can actually look at adding some attributes. So if we look at our audience, which is where we added some options here, you see we've now got support and technician. So I will add that attribute, and that's as easy as that. So we've created our new metadata tab in the CM admin, and it's straight away available here. Actually, I should have scrolled down more and I could have shown you user as well. And then we can check this back into the CCMS. And then I'll show you searching for the topics that use that particular metadata from within the system. Just switch back to John. So I've got two tabs open, so we'll show that now. So we'll just show you how we can actually find that metadata within the system to do a complete full circle. So switching back to XDocs, a quick way to topics that have our metadata that we've been looking around in is we can open a new view, just drop down, be searching for audience and what's got technician. There you go, straight away. So instantly being able to go off and find where metadata is stored is one of the big benefits of using XDocs. And every time content is changed and imported, we're stripping out that metadata, so it's there for search purposes. We can go off and find the content that we need, and then when it comes to publishing, then we can use that metadata within the publishing to make sure that we're sending accurate, relevant content out to the individuals that are actually consuming that data. So in conclusion, XDocs gives you complete control over your metadata usage. It has full support for OWL, which is important in this semantic web environment. Also has XPath2 support, which makes it easier to find things. With XDocs, you can turn any attribute or element value into metadata and track their use. And you can also see where all metadata is used throughout your document set. XDocs will automatically index files when they're imported or saved, or when you create a new version of a file. An additional feature which I didn't go into is we have within XDocs the ability to time travel. You can create a as of date label to actually see how the content looked at any time and date in the past, and when doing that you will also be able to see what metadata was associated with those files as of those dates and times in the past, which may be important if you need to go back and you have some queries on things, being able to prove that that was in place. And lastly, using metadata more intelligently will impact the publishing. It will enable you to actually publish specific document sets for specific environments. That may be geospatial content, so using the metadata that relates to where equipment is based, so you can actually send all the documents related to an individual windmill within a wind farm, for example, because the windmills will all have slightly different documents. And so use of metadata can improve the publishing as well as everything else. So any questions, my email address is on the screen. My telephone number is on the screen as well. And on our website, if you go to bluestream.com and follow the link to resources, there's lots of additional information there. If you do call me, you're more than welcome. Please bear in mind I'm based in London, so if you are on the Pacific coast, we've got a bit of a 8-hour time difference, but don't worry about that. I work late into the evening because I deal with Vancouver, where the other office is. So please get in touch, send some questions, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this recording. Hope you found it useful, and I welcome your feedback. Goodbye.